Today, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a look at really possibly one of the most, if not the most underrated epic champions out there, specifically for the arena. Before we get into her...
Am I hallucinating?
I do want to point out two different abilities, especially for newer players out there in the game. They're incredibly strong for the arena, but they're much different, and one's much preferable to the other, although again, they're both good. So let's look at Corrado Fox Hunter here on his A3. He has a block active skills ability. Now, when you cast the block active skills ability and put it on the opponent, obviously there will be an accuracy resistance check. If you do land that debuff, it could be blocked by block debuffs. It could also be cleansed away by one of the numerous cleansers who it seems like they add every single day to this game. So block active skills are very good. It will enable the enemy only to use their A1 ability, and that's it. Usually their most powerfuls are their other skills, right? So there's a lot of champions in the game who have this block active skills. Just a few that come to mind here are Logan as well on his A3 and AoE block active skills. Again, it's a good ability. However, there are only a few champions in the entire game that have the more preferable ability. Warlord being probably the most well-known, the quintessential example of this out there, right? It's Orcish Rituals. It's going to have a 100% chance of putting each target's skills on cooldown. That means that if you have block debuffs up, like if there's a Duchess on the team, you have block debuffs on all allies, a Pythion block debuffs, it doesn't matter. This will ignore block debuffs, and it can't be removed, unlike the block active skills ability, right? The debuff can be removed and cleansed off. This cannot be. Once this ability lands, they can't use their active skills until they're on cooldown again. So very powerful ability. Of course, Warlord and Yumeko are probably the most well-known champions that have that ability on Dance of Time. Dance of Time increases the cooldown of all enemy skills by 3 turns. Now, probably the most popular epic with this ability, and one of, I think, only 2 that have it on an AoE in the game, is probably who you may have clicked on this video expecting, and that is Basher. So Basher's really good for Hydra Clan Boss. He has block buffs on his A3 ability, and then he has a Stinging Blast, the AoE, increase the cooldown of all target skills by 2 turns. Now, what's nice about Basher is that he is a Void Affinity champion, so you don't have to worry about negative affinity matchups on this increase the cooldown of all active skills by 2 turns. The downside is he's a little bit slower, he's really squishy, and he doesn't deal that much damage compared to who's going to be the feature of today's video, and that is Alika.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. I know.
Alika's multipliers are absolutely insane. She hits very hard. So this gives you a really cool, versatile option, especially on a go second team, to control your opponents and kill them at the same time, okay? A lot of people look at Alika and they know her for a high value target. This is on a 2-turn cooldown when booked, right? It's ignoring 50% of the target's defense as long as their HP is higher than her HP. But she has Disorient on a 3-turn cooldown. This ability smacks. It hits very hard. 3-turn cooldown, 100% chance of increasing the cooldown of all enemy skills by 2 turns. Okay, so what's better than killing everybody? Well, what if you kill everybody but their revivers are alive? Let's just pretend you're going into, I don't know, a Siphi and Trunda team, right? An Arbiter and whatever, right? You kill the nuker, you kill the Trunda, but Siphi's left standing. She revives the nuker, and then everybody's dead, right? Well, you're not going to have that issue when you run Alika on your team because you have a great nuker and an amazing control champion. One of the few champions in the entire game with this sort of an ability, all in one package. So today I built her a lot differently than you might typically be looking at on an Alika build. There's so many different cool ways to build this champion for the arena. The one I'm going to show you is a very basic one, just triple perception. We're really prioritizing accuracy here. The only exception being is we did go down and pick up Helm Smasher to ignore some defense because she is going to be our nuker on a go second team, as well as, again, she's going to be doing our control. So we went with the offensive masteries here, Ruthless Ambush, Opportunist, went down here and picked up Helm Smasher, as I mentioned. We do have triple perception. It's important to pick up Lore of Steel to get extra bang for our buck in terms of accuracy and speed from Lore of Steel ability. Then we went down with Evil Eye as well. We don't really need Master Hexer or Sniper ability because, again, it's 100% chance. There's actually no debuffs. We're just putting them straight to cooldown Again, don't have to worry about block debuffs or any of that baloney. Stone Skin, who cares? Stone Skin is going to ignore Stone Skin on this ability, okay? Which is what makes it preferable to stun. Think of a stun for 2 turns on an AoE that can ignore Stone Skin. The only difference is they can still go with their A1s, but again, it can't be cleansed, it can't be undone. So a very, very cool champion. Today we built her again, not all out nukage, but a little bit of bang to her hit, right? 110 crit rate, 164 crit damage, 542 on the accuracy, and a little bit of speed as well. We do need some protection for this champion because she's pretty squishy for a go second team. We'll talk about that in just a moment here. We have a few methods at our disposal to make sure she stays alive, right? So you could run her in immunity gear. You could run her in Stone Skin gear. Great option, because if I didn't have her with like a neck red or a really strong bolster for that nice juicy shield to make sure she stays alive on a go second team, I'd probably just run her straight up in Stone Skin. Stone Skin, even for 1 turn, like a Warlord build, and then just get in there with the A3, and that way you neutralize the entire enemy team, if not kill them. And with Stone Skin, you don't have to worry about her HP in her, survivability. So we have her in Triple Perception, Stone Skin. You can go immunity, so she does not get put on cooldown as well. None of her abilities get CC'd or stunned or anything like that. So there's a few options here, but you can go speed as well. Just speed gear on a really, really fast team. You can run her as a control on a fast team, such as a very fast Yumeko team or a fast Warlord team. So there's a lot of options here for you guys in terms of how to build this champion. Furthermore, you can build her to be a little bit more nuky than we have in this build. I put her in crit rate on the gauntlets, but of course you can go crit damage on the gauntlets. Now this is kind of a cool build because I think that we're taught for years now in this game that you have to put your nuker in crit damage gauntlets and then get the crit rate from the substats.
Many names were suggested.
It wasn't me.
You don't always have to do that, guys. You can look for crit damage in the substats. Crit damage over here, crit damage over there, and crit damage over here. And that will all add up, and it will allow you to get a really nice pair of gloves here, where you get crit rate, a little bit of defense, and a lot of speed on the substats. So there's more than, 2 ways to build a nuker in this game. And this is just a different option for you guys to consider, not just on Alika, but really on any champion. So we have her in speed on the boots. We have her in attack percentage, we have her in attack percentage on the boots. We have her in accuracy on the chest. I stand corrected. And this is, again, you don't have to build her like this, but it just shows you the overall versatility that you can play with when you're building any champion in this game. I was able to get enough speed on the substats here, even though there's no speed on this chest, right? But, a speed roll on the boots, got that really nice speed roll on the gauntlets, and again, I was able to go accuracy on the chest and then move the attack percentage down to the boot, so she has enough accuracy with the perception to make sure we're putting those skills on cooldown, because that's so valuable. So this is the build that I have her in for today's video. Again, I think we've discussed quite a bit other ways that you can build this champion. Let's go ahead and start using her. We do have accuracy on the banner with a trip speed roll. Do I have any speed glyphs? Of course I don't have speed glyphs, man. Speed glyphs are so hard to come by, man. Are you guys like me? When you see a speed glyph, you're like, yes! I get more excited about a speed glyph than when I get a sacred shard in a clan boss chest. That's straight up, especially a 6-star speed glyph. Anyway, guys, I digress. Going into the arena here, let's just go ahead and run her. I don't know why I had that team up, but this is the team that we're going to be using. I'm in love with Pythion, so I'm going to go ahead and run Pythion on this team as well. I have Pythion right now, guys, in a bolster set, okay? So a bolster set is going to allow us to have that shield at the start of the turn and keep her alive. She goes in and boom, increase the cooldowns of all of their abilities. So yeah, sure, they have a reviver in Mighty Uko on their team, but who cares? He's not going to be able to revive. The nice thing is on a 3-turn cooldown as well. So there'll only be basically 1 turn, depending on speeds, that the opponents even have the chance of getting in there and doing their thing. So I'm not sure was that the high value target that took down Ultimate Death Knight there?
Side doors, Ari-Kari. Look at me now. Look at me now.
But either way, it was a hard-hitting ability, right? So again, it's going to take a while, but the nice thing about our team is we're really robust. We're a really strong team, and we have that really powerful cleanse on the A2 as well of Pythion to come in here and save our Alika. Now, even if she dies, which looks like she's going to here, we're going to be able to revive with Duchess nonetheless, so we're going to be A-okay. The nice thing is she does get that turn, thereby taking that A3 and putting it on 1 less cooldown. I think she has it up right now. So she's revived now. We're going to come back in. Now we're getting to our rhythm. She's going to come in, and we're going against another really, really tough, difficult go second team here, obviously. We put all the skills on cooldown again, no, except for Mithrala's. I stand corrected there, right? So Mithrala is using her A2 ability, but Mithrala has that crazy high resistance that is equal to her accuracy. So that is going to be the exception here that we're going to have to deal with. Now, I want to go, or high value target is going to be automatically reoriented over. Look at that. Boom. Popped him right off there. So let's see if we can get back to putting the skills on cooldown before she dies or before the revival comes back up, right? So A1, obviously not going to hit too hard against all these shields and strengthen and increase defense and everything else under the sun in terms of Brogni. Man, this team is super tanky, but we're getting the job done slowly but surely. Wow, that was a big hit, but it's okay. We have the double revivers here in Duchess and Pythion on the squad. We come back in there, and again, well, we got the resist from Mithrala, but who cares, because the reviver skills were again reduced by 2 turns. Now we can pick up or pick down or put down. There we go. Put down the reviver. We come back in, hitting Brogni. He's going to be dead, and the whole team's going to be toast. See how effective this strategy is here, guys? And again, we're starting out with a bolster set. We're starting out with an Ally Protect from Necret as well, but you have a lot of options here, right? Going with bolster or a shield set if you don't have good bolster gear is totally fine with this champion. She comes in with the A1, takes out Brogni, and now there is only one left here, guys. So I would highly recommend, again, I just want to be very clear for you guys, because I'm sure some of you right now are like, dude, you're running here with Necret. I don't have Necret. How are we going to keep her alive here is the big issue, right? Let me just stress, guys, Stone Skin, okay? Stone Skin prioritizing accuracy is going to be the way to go. In even one turn stones or 1 round, 4-piece Stone Skin is going to be a great option for you guys. So let's go ahead against a little bit of a faster team here. Let's go against a block revive team, which is very dangerous considering we do have 2 strong revivers on our team and we might lose our nuker. Let's just see what happens. Now, keep in mind, if we can get in there before Foley, which we're not going to be able to do, I'm worried. Oh, I'm not worried. I'm fine. Now, we do have a decrease attack, unfortunately, which is going to mitigate the damage, but we are able, to put all those skills on cooldown. And now we're going to have our high-value target. Let's go ahead and see if we can pop off Arbiter here on an easy one-shot with the A2 ability. So Foley comes in, can barely touch us, no big deal. Reduced turn meter. They're picking on poor Alika, but we're fine. We're fine. High value target is going to go off. Remember, that has the built-in ignore defense on it too, so it's really, really nice to have. I actually like, call me crazy, guys, and I know a lot of you, my viewers, are a big fan of Basher. Nothing against Basher at all. Like, really cool champion. Don't get me wrong. But I actually like her a little bit better than Basher personally. I think it's really up to, what you prefer. And again, having Force Affinity is nice because there's so many Magic Affinity champions out there in the game. However, it is nice having Void Affinity too, where you don't have to really worry about the matchup so much. So high value target, I'm going to ignore Foley. I'm going to go right for Lysandra. Even though it is Spirit Affinity, which is a negative affinity matchup, we're still able to handle that nice and easy. And even against Foley, who is a very dangerous nuker, we're totally okay. So what I want to do, guys, I want to put her on a team really quick. I'm going to go show you one more go second run and try this champion out. I'm telling you. And again, keep in mind, I don't have her in Savage Lethal, crit damage on the amulet. I don't even know if I have crit damage on the, crit damage on the gauntlets. I don't even know if I have it on the amulet. I have to double check that. But we can get that crit damage way up and make her more of a robust, all-out nuker as well. And she's a great nuker, one of my favorites. Probably, for my money, she's probably a top 3 nuker out of epics. I put Genbo above her. But I love the versatility that you get from her kit. I'd probably put like Skullcrown, Magnar, her in the same conversation. What about you guys? So I want to go against let's go against this team here. One more team on the go second team, and then we'll do a quick damage check on a go first team with her as the main nuker as well. So again, we're coming in here. They're obviously going to go first. We're a little bit scared of Trunda, but we do have the Force Affinity, so we're not super worried about it. We're going against Lydia, so we're going against a all skills on cooldown. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing to see. It's a nice sight to behold. Now, how this team will work is we're going against Wither, probably one of the best healers in the game, arguably the best healer in the game. We have Lydia going on the other team. We have a good nuker. We have a Reviver and Arbiter. So there's a lot, that we're gonna have to wait for. And that's the beauty of the go second team, right? You have the luxury of just kind of sitting back, high value. I was going to take it off auto and go with high value target on their reviver instead, but it's okay. It's still going to work out here. Nice on the ally attack too, because her A1 hits pretty hard, right? So here we go. Poking away. What I was trying to say earlier, it's kind of rambly as always here on the channel, is we wait on against a team like this. We wait for basically the second go round, right? So when she has her next A3 up, which is her next move, we'll be in a better position, I think. Wither is keeping up with us pretty well, though. I'm not gonna lie. So here we go. I'm gonna take it off auto and do this one, or take it off manual, or put it on manual. Come on, Ash. What's wrong with you today, bro? It's very early at the time of this recording. I apologize. I'm going to take it off manual and put it on auto. Wait, what? Huh? We get the increased attack. We have the A3 up and ready. Let's see who we can take out here. Boom and boom. Okay, we didn't take out anybody, but they can't be healed because, well, let's take out the, let's take out Arbiter here. She's down. We get a nice heal there on Trunda. We'll be able to come back around. And again, this is a strategy that I would suggest to you guys who've always wanted, you know, you've always hoped for a Warlord, always had dreams of a Warlord or a Yumeko coming out of those Void Shards, but you've had no success with such endeavors. I think this is a beautiful champion to try out in a similar fashion. But again, you can get a lot of extra damage there too. You're sacrificing some support and some control because you don't have that turn meter reduction that Warlord is so known for as well on the Orcish Rituals. But it's really, really cool to have a champion with this much DPS potential and, again, that great control ability. So that was, I think, her A1 there. I kind of missed it, but it's just going to be a matter of time before we can get rid of this Wither and this Duchess. Now, again, in between these high-value targets, we're going to be able to put their skills on cooldown, which you just saw right there. So, guys, I'll come back to you at the end of this one. We'll do a quick fast arena team and a quick damage check. Be right back. All right, guys, there we go. Wither is down, and that's another victory for the good guys. All right, let's go ahead and try her on a go first team, excuse me. So let's go ahead and put her with the Arbiter, the Madame Ceres, and Prince Kymar. See how we do here. Now, if I was going to use a build like this, I'd probably go ahead and try to get a little bit extra crit damage, or put her in a Savage set if you want to have her go on a go first team. But I think we'll still be pretty good with this level of accuracy. So here we go. Let's slow it down. And with the Disorient ability, let's see what we can get here. Boom. I get increased cooldowns, I think, on everybody, and still a significant amount of damage indeed. And we can basically just rinse and repeat here. Kymar's going to go ahead and use a Seal of Magic, and we're going to do everything all over again, provided she does not get CC'd here in the interim. So there's Seal of Magic. We come back in here, remove the buffs, and, well, Arbiter's like, I got this. I got this. So there it goes, guys. Hey, what do you think of this champion? Have you ever used her? I'm telling you right now, man, super, super underrated. And the cool thing about this game is there's a million champions, and they're always adding, it seems like, a million more, right? But OG champions like Alika can still provide tons of value, and a lot of people just don't give her the credit she deserves. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.